I spent $28,744 on Whiteout Survival in 150 days. That's right, 150 days, and you heard that number correctly. I'm trying to play as what I'm calling an efficient whale. Some people have, debates about this concept of whether you can actually be an efficient whale and whether I should drop that term entirely or not. I'm going to keep the goal because that's part of what I try to do. I try to see how much money I can, or how much power I can get per dollar, essentially. And, some things, it's just kind of fun to try to play an efficiency game. But yeah, when you're playing as a whale, sometimes you can't avoid like spending all the way to the top tiers and things like this. So, I'm going to keep on trying to be efficient. And there are going to be times in the game that I can't be because I'm going for a cosmetic or because there's only so many ways to get certain things in bulk and I have some big goal that I want to press. But for the most part, I'm going to try. And I think most of my audience appreciates that because, as I'm going through the analysis, you learn a little something, or at least I do. So, and maybe just some of you like seeing me torture myself. I don't know. So here's what we're looking at today. We've got King of Icefield that I'm not going to try to press particularly hard. I just want to make sure I get my basic points. There are a couple ways I can do it. I haven't really decided yet, but I think what I'm looking at is I do want to make sure that I save the expert sigils as much as possible. Now that I'm getting into the heavier duty expert sigils, I do want to try to save that for SVS because those are big points. I'm not so worried about the Book of Knowledge and speed ups, especially since there's an event on the board that I can do today. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this with the Book of Knowledge and speed ups because I do want to continue to press the experts a little bit. I'm not going to play Lucky Wheel because I already have Mia and I don't see the point in spending gems on the wheel when there's nothing I can really get out of it. There are some ancillary things you can get and then you could trade in the shards, but it just doesn't seem worth it to me. So I'm going to basically skip the Lucky Wheel and save those gems for other purposes like pets. The shards I'm not going to do. I don't actually have anything I can do, I don't think. And then Essence Stones I could do, but definitely I won't do Mithril or widgets. So, because those are pretty big points. The Essence Stones are big points too, but I can replace whatever I use with the pop-up pack if I do it correctly. So that's something worth considering, but I'm going to be spending a lot of money again tonight, so I don't think I want to do that tonight. And there will be other opportunities later in the week to both continue to do some expert stuff and to do more with Essence Stones. Yeah, here's another one here. So I could continue to do Essence Stones later in the week if I wanted to. So there's not an awful lot to do today other than that. So let's just take a look at the standard shop here. So we've got the Dawn of Wisdom, which is all about the experts. And I'm now that I have a little experience with experts and I know people have been telling me, how expensive they are. Here's the thing. This one gives you the Books of Knowledge and the speed ups, which are useful. But the more I'm playing this game, the more I'm realizing how hard it is to get the expert sigils, especially for Romulus and maybe some of the other experts later on. I think this is where it's at. I mean, I was kind of debating before, but I think this is where it's at because if you go with the treks, like you just these frontier supplies, you just get a chance of getting items. And, I don't know what the point in that is. I don't think the value of getting those to the value you get back is worth it. I don't think. These are just the gifts, and you will get these on the treks over time. So that could be useful as well. But to me, this is where it's at. Like, this is what you're going to get bottlenecked on. It's hard to get enough sigils for these experts. So that's what I think I'm going to keep doing is getting the sigils. And I'm going to buy a bunch of these tonight. I think that's what I'm going to do for this pack is we got 2 days. So I will buy a bunch of them tonight, but I'm not going to use the sigils. If anything, I'll use the Books of Knowledge. But this maybe, because you know what, since I want to push some tonight as well, maybe useful to get some of this, but I don't know, man. I think I could just use my general speed ups for this, and I probably have enough Books of Knowledge for what I need to do tonight. Yeah, I've got enough Books of Knowledge for tonight, so I think the sigils is where it's at, man. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to buy... yeah, I think I'll just buy that for tonight. I want to remember to buy the rest of them tomorrow night, I think, because I don't think I'm going to be doing as much spending tomorrow. So I'll let that sit there for now, but I do want to come back. I think I'm going to buy that out for the sigils. The pet chest, I'm going to do a little bit of this tonight, but basically show you what my pattern is going to be. I'm going to do one... I think what I've decided is, for the most part, I'm going to do one pet chest or pet food and 2 advancement materials every time, because I need to kind of get my stash built up again. But I'll just do that for tonight, just the $5 level for tonight. The Fire Crystal Fanatic pack, I'm going to buy the $5 tonight just to get it going. I do have 4 more days on this. You know, this is not the best deal in the game, but as I've said before, sometimes with items like this, like I started looking at how much I'm going to need to try to get to T11 troops after this FC5 and after the other thing. And there's stuff in the War Academy as well. Like there is so much coming up that's going to need fire crystals. I'm just not going to be able to get enough from the standard. So from all the other deals. So like, you know, this is an example where you just have to get them at the best price you can when you can get them. And although this isn't the best price in the game, you can get them for 10. I think I even got lucky enough to get them for 20 per dollar the other day. You can only get so many that way. So you get the ones you can on sale, and the rest of them, you just have to, you know, source them how you can. The stamina, I'm going to always grab this whenever I can because it's pretty decent for VIP, and it's useful to have in the bank for Beast Day and other things. Daily deals, I'm going to grab this. And let's see if we get lucky. Nope, not really. And then Fire Crystal Weekly card, Ultra Value, and we'll grab the gear card as well. And I think that's all we got. Oh, no, we don't. We have something else here I forgot. So we had a reset, and I forgot to grab the Mithril. I could grab more than one, but I just want to grab at least one every week. It's not like Mithril, really, the value doesn't change. And I mean, you can get them, as you can see from some of these other shops, you can get them for better than $5 a piece. Like I was able to get them for $3.50 a piece from the other shop. But it's just, I'm going to need so many, and I'm just so far down now. You know what? I'm going to buy another, buy another 2 tonight. I'm just going to need so many. Maybe I should start buying them, you know, $15 worth every week because we're just going to need so many of them. And then the other stuff is kind of this where it gets debatable. Like you can buy some of the expert stuff, but I got other ways to get it now, as long as I watch out for that other pack. So I think we're going to be good on that. Let's go into the events section quick. As I said, we do have Lucky Wheel here. I did show the King of Icefield, so I'm not going to do that, but let's just take a look at the calendar. We have this Dreamscape coming up. I'll spend a little bit on it. That's not my most favorite event, but I will do it for the island decorations. We have the Silver Frost Shop winding down today, so it's going to have to be the last of that. And then we have, you know, some other standard stuff coming up, and we have Brother in Arms coming up. And what's this? Wild Brawl. That's a new. I don't know if that's a game that's been here before, but it's new to me. So now we have a internal castle battle coming up following weekend. So, and it should be our turn for the rotation. So it should be just an internal kind of practice session, getting ready for SBS. So that's what things are looking like there. Look at the deals section. I'm going to grab this, like I said I'm going to be doing, and I'll just basically using this right now for the sole reason of grabbing some widgets, essentially. So just because that's the best deal for me right now. Oh, I only grabbed one. Grab as many as I can, and then we'll let that sit until next week. Yeah, I hope, you know what? I don't like letting those sit exactly. So, because I don't know when new heroes are coming. So, and then those tickets won't be good. So I'll just zero that out. All right. And then we've got the Journey Treasures. Just make the claims there. Sign an internet. Same thing. Just make the claim. Oh, I forgot to unlock it. Look at that. Usually when I do that, you guys tell me in the comments, but a couple days ago, I must have forgot to unlock it. So there we go. That's a sign an internet. And just take the Deadshot claim and take care of the bank. And whoops. Got too click happy. And we'll take care of that now. All right. That's the deal section. And now, as I said, we got Dreamscape Memory coming up. It wasn't really my most favorite event, but it is a little fun, but you know, I don't want to spend too much on it. It's like basically you have to spend progressively on it. That's the part I don't like. So the only thing, and then the Spectral Ice Shack, this is all done. I bought what I could. I do like the value here, and I'm glad I did get a bunch of Chief Gear stuff, because people are telling me I'm going to be getting Chief Gear upgrades sooner than I thought. I thought I was going to be maxed out for a while, but it sounds like it's going to come sooner than I anticipated, so that's good. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff in the Stream Miracle shop that I just, you know, when I do the math on it, it's pretty darn good value. The only thing that I think the value wasn't super good. Obviously, the city skins, it's not super great value. It's just more about a cosmetic. But the I didn't do the math on the essence stones. It's probably the same. Actually, since it's the same number, it's probably the same. I don't think the value is super great on these, but it is better than elsewhere. So like, if instead of like getting these for like 2.4 per dollar, I think it was something closer to 3.4 or something per dollar, somewhere right around there. So that value didn't look super great to me. But a lot of the other items did when I did the math. Certainly the fire crystals ended up having a good ratio, and the charms, which is what I was really going for in here, had a good ratio. So I don't want to, I mean, I'm going to spend a bunch on this today because I think it's just an opportunity to get some really good value. And it didn't unlock, did I unlock all this? No, I didn't unlock all of it. So I'll have to go and finish off this to grab the rest of these and take care of that. But I'm going to basically buy up to the $100 today, and I think I might even go another $100 after that. And I do need to calm this spending down. My budget is not unlimited, believe it or not. I did put a bunch of money in here because of tax season. I think I'm going to end up getting more money back than I anticipated. And so I put that into the channel, basically, is the way I look at this. I'm putting it into the game, putting it into the channel. So the first thing I want to do is I do want to buy out the charm materials here because, again, it's just one of those things where hard to find an opportunity to buy those in bulk. But that's a lot. That's like took a lot off my budget there, right? And now I'm going to make sure that I close out these daily deal items because that's a good value there. And then now the question is, what's next? So I think if I want to continue to put some money into it, the fire crystals aren't a horrible deal there. I think this ends up being something like 8 per dollar. So that's actually a decent deal. But check this out also. I've been told I'm going to need steel, and a lot of it, when War Academy comes out. And I don't have enough that I'm going to need when that comes out. So, and I do feel like I'm behind on research. So this is an opportunity to put 1.2 million in the bank of steel. And steel is one of those things where it's hard to find. I did the math on this. This is about, I don't know, a 50% better deal. So it's like 1.5 times what you can get in the standard shop. Steel's actually hard to find in a lot of these shops. So here's where I said I'm going to go to multiple hundreds here because I'm going to grab that as well. So I'm grabbing that steel mainly because it's just hard to find. You can't buy it anywhere else. So now I just was able to put another, 1.2 million steel in the bank. So that's the steel. And now the question is, do I want to keep on spending? Like, how much more do I want to go? I need 500 more for these fire crystals, and that is 8 per dollar. So not a horrible spend there necessarily. And I'm gonna need a lot of them, and this is an opportunity to buy them at a good price. But 8 per dollar isn't the best in the game, so I don't know, man. I don't think I'm gonna go crazy over it. The rest of these, I have other ways to get some of these other items, and I feel like I'm in a good place with them. So as I look through it, I don't really feel the need to drop another $100 in this shop. I'll just spend out what I can here and be done with it. So, I will I'll buy what I can of the fire crystals and be done with it. And that's it. No need. I don't think the deal is so good that I need to put another $100 into it for that, or so rare. That's the two things, the criteria I used here. Some of these I got because they're rare and hard to find and hard to purchase elsewhere, and some of these I got because the value is super good, and I think that's where we stand there. So that's all we're doing for that shop, and I think we got a lot of value out of that shop. I spent a bunch of money, but I do feel like it was worth it because that money spent elsewhere wouldn't have gone as far. So with that done, let's take a look at the backpack, because I don't have an awful lot of other exciting things to do tonight, but we can take a look at what's going on here. Let's see if I get lucky on this. Anything better than 5 is good luck. Nope, no, not good luck. All right, and let's just take a look at what's put these in the bank. See if I get lucky on these. Not those, on these. Well, there's only 2 of them. I'll just clear them out. All right, so if we take a look at what's going on here, this is what I got going on. This is how much resources I've got ready. This is what I got ready for the FC5 push. This is what's happening for the next SVS. I'm gonna have all this ready for the SVS push. So I'm doing really good for SVS, or for the FC5 push, I should say. But then the question is, how much more am I going to need for, T11 that's coming shortly after that? As I understand it, maybe it's another 30 days or something like that. So, I don't know, somewhere around there. So we got FC5 already, but I'm waiting for the push until SVS. And then sometime after that, we're supposed to be getting War Academy, I guess. And then I don't know where Chief Gear is coming in that timeline. So we've got all this stuff going on, but I've got a nice stockpile of fire crystals built up, but not enough. Never enough. And then we also I have a nice stockpile going for the Chief Charms. Take a look at that. And is starting to build up on the sigils so I can push the experts a little further. But the charms now are I'm replenishing my depleted stock, and the same with the Chief Gear, slowly starting to replenish the depleted stock, slowly starting to replenish the depleted stock of Mithril, although that's so easy to just wipe out. And, building up my next Mythic Hero Gear shard bank for the next round of heroes, and plenty to trade in the next 100 trading station. So yeah, that's what I got going on in the backpack right now. I thought you might be interested in seeing that. Take a look at the hero gear, because I have been pressing, this pressing the levels like this doesn't really do anything for prep or anything. So it's just a matter of continuing to press that. And this is my next focus though. I'm trying to get these boots up to 39. I could kind of do them evenly between the boots and the goggles, but I just wanted to try to get like one at a time done. So I can get them closer to being to the point where I can use Mithril at SVS if I want to. So that's where we're sitting there. And then if you haven't seen from other nights, I got my infantry gauntlets up to level 20 plus 100. So that's a nice count milestone there. It's kind of maxed out. And then, slowly working on the marksman. So I got the plus 39s going up here for the marksman, and I want to do the same with the lancers essentially. So that's what's going on there. And the rest of them, I'm just working on my top 3 right now. It's not the best for arena, but I'm kind of more focused on PvP right now. Now I'll tell you what, Frostfire Mine, I don't know what it is, but it's my work schedule. I never seem to be able to play this game. I work a lot, and I do contracting on the side, and I do this content creation. So I probably will not be able to play Frostfire Mine again, it's fun when I can play, but I don't think I'm going to be able to play it. So don't necessarily look for that recording, because I doubt I'm going to be able to actually, make time to play it. It's unfortunate. I wish they did it a little bit different than the way they do it, but the times are kind of all funky, and the way they run it, where it's got to be a strict schedule and all this, and I don't know, never seems to work out for me. But let's take a look at the Labyrinth, because I don't know if I'm doing this right, man. The gear does seem to matter. So some people said take the gear off. I don't think taking the gear off would help at all. But I think I got this formation set up right again for something like what would be the Gaia formation, which is, this is the top one's like 60-40. Well, actually, I did 60-20-20 because I don't think I'm in the gen yet where 60-40 would help, actually. So I don't know if, I'm just experimenting with this, doing something like what I was told, but modifying a little bit because it didn't seem to work for Gaia Heart. So I did a little bit of a modification. Let's see what happens here. Ow, ouchie. Ow, this didn't work at all. What's going on here? Unless, I doubt I got that unlucky, but it's probably I got lucky in previous rounds. No, that's not working. I don't know, man. I don't know if I like this. I'm gonna go back to what was working randomly, and here, let me just clear these all out. Clear these all out so I can do what was tending to working, at least. I think maybe that trick is more for advanced generations, maybe because this kind of standard, having a solid squad from the start, seemed to work a lot better. So if I just do even just 55, just kind of cheat this a little bit this way, that seemed to work well. Yeah, and then Let's see. And then see what happens with this one. Let's see how this works. I mean, that worked much better. So I don't know, I think that formation that people were trying to tell me probably works better on more advanced generations. Or I just got lucky once. I don't know. Hey, all right. Nice. Probably not. Hey, all right. Got it. Oh, I'm sticking with what's working. I don't know how long it's going to work, but it's working. Ouch. Yeah, saw that coming. All right, give it one more roll of the dice. Nice. Don't see where this is going. All right. Well, got a few more, squeaked a few more levels out of it. So that's looking pretty nice. Squeaked a few more levels out. That's always a good thing. So we'll, I mean, you know, like I said, if that special combination y'all were trying to tell me was for more advanced generations, we're still in Gen 3 right now, so maybe that's the reason it wasn't really working for me. So now let's go pop into the, let's take care of that and put a little points on the board here. So let's see. What I want to do is I want to, I've got plenty of speed ups. So the point of general speed ups is that you can use them for anything. So don't have a heart attack when you see me using general speed ups. All right. So I'm going to take care of that. And then I'm going to use a book of knowledge to upgrade this rally capacity. And then I'm going to, let's see. Yeah, I can use an upgrade here. And I think I'm going to go back to upgrading the rally capacity again. And I'll just get this cooking again. And hopefully that was enough points. Let's go check it out. It should be. Yeah, that was more than enough points to clear. Actually, just barely. Only 400,000 points. But that was enough to clear. And it gave me a little bit of progression on the expert. So I'm happy with that. I'm not trying to push King of Icefield hard. I'm not trying to go crazy with this event or anything, but I was able to, you know, do a little progression on the expert and, you know, get a little bit of a bonus and some power out of it. And, you know, call it a day, get my points and call it a day and save the rest for SVS. Let's see. See if we get lucky on the Crystal Laboratory. I've been forgetting to do this. This isn't a big deal, but just to see, you know, how lucky I get. Hey, nice. No, not so nice. No. All right. Well, you can't win them all. So let's just check out the VIP quick, and let's see where we're at, where we're sitting at. Did I get them all? Yep, got them all. All right, there we go. 722,000. So we'll have a nice little spin session coming up soon, but not tonight. I want to wait a little bit further. I really want to kind of wait until it gets to 1 million, and then do another spin session, and we'll see how that goes. Now, since I don't have a lot else to talk about tonight, I do want to give you just a quick update on kind of like state politics, because we do have the Brother in Arms coming up again. We had a little conversation about how we wanted to run it. Oh, it's not on this. It's on the schedule, but I guess not in the events yet. So we have the Brother in Arms coming up. You can see it here and we have the castle battle coming up. A couple of things that we're doing in the state a little bit differently. Number one, we have a rotation schedule for the castle. So we discuss that, put it out in order of who had the castle last, and we're just going to be going through that rotation regularly now. It doesn't matter whether it's an SVS or an internal. We're just going to rotate the castle so everybody gets a chance with castle week to week. We do still have to work out some things on SVS prep, and we're still trying to get better at like the logistics of the battle phase of SVS and how we're going to use a shell alliance to go into it and make sure the right person gets the president at the end of it if we win and things like this. So we have to work out some of those logistics, but we have the right intent now. The other thing is with BIA, we've decided to keep that a purge event. So essentially we're going to use BIA to purge inactive players and encourage merging. So, some people didn't like this in the comments last time and some people didn't mind it. This is a war game, and this is a game of trying to make sure that everybody's on the same page in the state. So we're not trying to actually burn active players. So make sure you understand that correctly when you hear me say this. We're trying to make sure that we're using it as an opportunity to clear points off so the opponent doesn't get free points off of our state. We might as well get those points instead. We're going to try to, even though the power doesn't typically matter that much unless you're a top 100 players. From what I understand, most people think it's the top 100 players that determine the power. So we probably won't do a lot about, reducing power in the state, but it's a way for people to get their points. It's a way to encourage, to send the strong message that we do need the merging and consolidation in the state to be able to play more effectively as a unified state. As we can't have these, 100 tiny little alliances. We need a top 5 at least. Some people go to a top 3 or 4, but we're sticking with the top 5 for now. So hopefully that works out for us. But we do want it. So it sends a message of consolidation. It sends a message that you have to be paying attention because it's a war game. Like if all week we're telling you that we're going to do this, and then we get to Brother in Arms events and you're surprised, hey, wake up, it's a war game, pay attention, and if you have friends and stuff that are playing the game with you and you're out on vacation or something, that we're giving people plenty of opportunity to reach out to us, tell us, we can flag people. Last time somebody ported near one of our cities and we put little campment around them just for fun, because he didn't want to get attacked because he couldn't put a bubble up every 8 hours because he worked and couldn't do it. So all we're looking for is activity. If you're active and showing us you're active, we're not going to go crazy over it. However, if you're active only on the day of BIA and you start doing crazy stuff like attacking us when we're trying to attack you, well, you know what? We're in the middle of BIA. You already had your opportunity. You can always just bubble at any moment, right? You can bubble. You can just bubble or go to another alliance or randomly teleport, anything. There's any number of things you could do. But if you're going to just sit there and attack back and stuff like this, you got what you got coming. So, ultimately it's a war game, right? So that's what we're doing though. And we're going to do it the way I try to say it is the most empathetic and respectful, civil way possible, because we announce all week that we're doing this. We tell people that this is for the purpose of, encouraging people to consolidate, or if you just want to be safe, just bubble up or join the top 10 alliance. You can even just join temporarily, right? You don't even have to, or in many cases, you can even just reach out to somebody and say, hey, I'm active, but I'm going to be out on vacation or something like that. And any one of our alliances would take care of you if that was the case. And there's any number of strategies you can use. You can just join one of them temporarily while you're on vacation and come back, whatever. There's lots of opportunities if you're an active player. So this really should not really ultimately affect anybody who's an active player. There's so many opportunities to do something about it. So, I don't know. That's a lot of words about BIA, but I'm saying this because I had a lot of mixed comments last time I mentioned this concept. We're not doing this in any way, shape, or form that comes off as bullying or being superly aggressive or anything like that. This is being done in a way that's meant for positivity and consolidation in the state. It's for the good of the state, essentially, and we're doing it in the best way we know how. And the last thing we're having trouble with right now is actually facilities, because we have 5 alliances and it's hard to share facilities. It's a little annoying to me that facilities are still such a big deal ultimately, but we're going to have to figure out a way out of that because it's always causing some stress and problems. So I think maybe we're going to have to do some type of rotation schedule on some of them, or figure out a way. I think if we have the one SVS alliance, then that alliance gets the facilities it needs for the SVS battle. But for some reason, facilities is always a bit of trouble. So if any of you out there know, this is the unique challenge here is that we have a top 5 that we're trying to stick to. And if if any of you know, if you've done like a top 4 or 5 before and had a better way to deal with facilities, please tell me, because I'm like listening to anything, any suggestions people have to try to solve this problem so that we can reduce facility drama and frustration. What'll happen oftentimes is somebody will think a facility is on rotation, but they didn't know it was on rotation. So another alliance will attack it and take it, and they weren't supposed to take it, or or you're forced to do a rotation because we keep saying that you shouldn't have to share facilities at this point in the game, but yet we don't seem to have enough facilities that everybody wants. So therefore, people need to keep on talking about rotations, and some people are getting frustrated with rotations and some people don't want to rotate all the time and things like this. So if anybody has any ideas on how to better handle facility drama and rotations, I'm all ears. Drop it in the comments or ping me in the game if you're somebody who talks to me regularly. But that's all I have for you tonight. A little bit of spending and a little bit of state politics. Hopefully you enjoyed that discussion and giving you an appreciation about what's going on in my journey, what's going on in the state, because that's what I am trying to do, is document this journey that I'm on. But if you want to continue to follow this journey and see how the spending goes, see how my evolution goes in the game, you got to help me out by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and then turning on notifications so whenever I post anything, you'll be the first to know about it. Thank you very much for joining me, and until next time, I'll see you later.